Hi, everyone. This is Mitch from PickDogs.com. I got with me today the Puck Dogs, Rod, and Chris. I can't. Everything's backwards, right? It's like working in the mirror here. But, of course, Chris and Rod. Here, I should do it that way. I do the hand first. Chris and Rod. It's kind of like The Price is Right. A brand new Maple Leafs banner. It's like, but anyways, we got NBA action. Only 4 NBA games tonight. We've got college basketball, which a ton of games, and we have NHL. We're going back to the old format. I know everyone enjoyed the free-for-all style. I like the free-for-all style too, but I think it kind of has run its course. And we change over the years and over time. I've been doing the live show about 2.5 years, and I've been doing video for 12 years on here, and I've never kept it the same for a long time. And we used to do free-for-all Fridays, and then I went free-for-all every day when we started Pick Dogs. And I think the free-for-all worked really good for a while, but I think now it's run its course, and we're just going to change the format. We're going to go back to free-for-all Fridays. So Fridays will be free-for-all style. And on the other days, I'm just going to give out a few games that I didn't do video picks. And I'm doing tons and tons of video picks. So if you have questions from me on games, you just go to our YouTube channel and take a look over there, and you'll see. I didn't do every college basketball game, but I did 9 or 10 of them, and I did I did all 4 NBA games plus the dog of the day. We have not all the college football games, but I did 15 college football videos. I did all the NFL games. They're not up yet. I have those in my camera. And I'll be adding more college football, college basketball, and NBA all week long. Doing, like, for instance, some of the other guys out there doing videos, and I'll name my competitors, something that they would never mention me in their stuff, but I'll mention some of them here. And so, for instance, Wager Talk, okay, Kelly, right? She's awesome. She's fantastic. The other guys, right? We could take them or leave them, but we love Kelly. Not because it's Kelly, but because she really knows her shit, man. She's really good. But they do an average of about 36 videos a week. My other company, Picks and Parlays, they take their radio show and break it down into videos, as well as have cappers doing individual videos. And they do about 49 videos a week. Doc Sports with Tony George and Scott Spreitzer, they're doing about 9 videos a week. And me at Pick Dogs, I'm doing 123 videos a week with one person. So, and that number's only going to grow. That includes the live shows and the other videos that I'm doing. So I'm doing more than twice as much as whoever's doing second. And then Wager Talk, who's pretty much the big guy right here on YouTube, at least right now, we're going to get him. It's just a matter of time. It's not if, it's when, right? They're doing only 40 videos a week. So we're doing 3 times as many videos of them. So as we build our subscriber base and our view rates, we're going to be going up like this. They're going to go like this, steadily higher and higher and higher, and we're going to be going like this. So eventually, the tide will rise over the top. But anyways, yeah, we're not doing the free-for-all style anymore. I'm just going to be giving out picks on games that I didn't do videos on and aren't premium picks is the way it's going to work. And then we got the Puck Dogs here, and they're going to give out their picks. Rod, you want to start us off with a pick here? Good morning. Sorry.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, we'll start off at the top of the list. We'll go Islanders at the Penguins. Well, I'm looking at the odds here. The Penguins have had a rough start to the year, but they've had lots of injuries. And injuries have definitely kicked their butt. Crosby going to be out for months with a sports hernia injury. And they have the odds here that the Pens are favorite. Well, I'm going to take the Islanders. They've got the Islanders as a plus 110. And they're just a better team this year. So I got to take the Islanders on the money line, plus 110.
Chris, you want to open us up with a quick pick here?
Yeah, I'm going to go Boston.
Good morning. Good morning, by the way.
Welcome
to the show.
I'm going to take Boston minus 145. New Jersey's won back-to-back games, and maybe getting rid of Corey Schneider is going to help turn that goaltending core around. But Boston's a better team on the road, and at this price, I think it's even worth it looking at it in regulation or even a bet on the puck line as well.
I'm gonna open mine with Eastern Michigan against Northern Illinois plus the points in a super unpopular pick with the sharps, with the squares, and with everybody else out there. 30% of the bets are on Eastern Michigan, and the line has moved from 4.5 to 5. So that means that means the world is on Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois 4-6 this season. Eastern Michigan 5-5. I don't think that really matters. I don't think this game is about who wins the game. I think this game is all about the point spread. And we know we've been on Eastern Michigan for years. Eastern Michigan, Vermont, in college hoops, these are our teams, right? Bucknell a few years ago. I mean, these are our teams. These are our games, and no one messes with us when it comes to this stuff. And I think that Northern Illinois might win this game. They absolutely need it. They're at home. They're 4-6. They have to win out if they want to be bowl eligible. Eastern Michigan will get another crack at bowl eligibility next week at home, as they're 5-5 to enter this thing. They're 3-3 against the number on the road. But one thing we know about Eastern Michigan over the years, they play in a lot of close games, especially when they're underdogs, when they're favorites. I'm going to guess when you look at their 4-6 against the spread, they've been favored this year a lot more than we're used to seeing them favored, and those are the games that they generally don't cover. Two of those non-covers, they were getting 1 point and getting 2.5 points in fairly close games. Then they didn't cover as a favorite, didn't cover as a favorite. So two of them have been the two times they were dogs and didn't cover this season. They were only getting 1 point and 2.5 points, so not a lot of chicken on the bone there. And then the other games that they didn't cover, they were favorites in those games. So getting 5 points here with an Eastern Michigan team that, let's just face it, they love to cover. And we can rewind all the way back to September 14th. They beat Illinois. I mean, Illinois is good.
They did, yeah.
They beat them at Illinois in Champaign. They were getting 7. We had them in that game, of course. I'm going to take Eastern Michigan. I can beat this thing into the ground, and who the hell knows what's going to happen once they get on the field. But I'll take Eastern Michigan.
I see that as a field goal game, so I think you're in the right place. Cool.
So back to the ice. We have a huge schedule in the NHL tonight. Rod, do you have another one you want to talk about here?
Sure. I'll just keep going down the list. I got Montreal at the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight. And Montreal's been playing half decent. The Jackets have not been that good this year. They have had their struggles. But they play real well against Montreal, winning 5 of their last 6 versus Montreal. And you're going to give me a home dog. I'll take the Jackets as a home dog here.
How about you, Chris? What do you think about this game or in general?
As far as this game goes, I'm actually on Montreal. You're going to give me 125. I mean, yeah, Montreal's on the road, but they're 9-1 on the puck line on the road. And I trust Carey Price in goal a lot more than I trust the tandem of Korpisalo and Merzlikins for Columbus. I just think Montreal's a gritty team, and I like them on the road here.
They've been tough on the road for sure, the Canadians, but the line looks a little fishy to me, to be honest. With Columbus just being a 7-8 team, how come they're only plus 105? And it's not like they've been killing them at home. They're 3-7 on the puck line at home and 4-5-1 straight up. While Montreal 5-2-2 on the road, 9-1 on the puck line on the road. This is a lot of heavy weight here on Montreal. I would think they would be more in the minus 150 range, looking just purely at the numbers. So that to me looks a little fishy, but that's just me. I always, to me, this is how I look at things, and it's generally that, okay, there's a giant NHL card here. All right, this is as big as it gets, right? Today's, I don't mean it like as important as it gets, not the playoffs, right? It's not elimination games. It's November hockey, right? It's pre-Thanksgiving hockey, and it's pre-New Year's hockey is all pretty much in that same category. But this is a big card, and I just don't know if that's a place where I would be unless I was trying to take a shot on the dog. That's just me, Chris, what are you thinking for another game?
A game that I'm going to be on a lot tonight is I'm going to be on Chicago plus 115. It's strictly a play based on value. I mean, Carolina's on a 3-game win streak, and they're probably You know, they're the team in better form coming into this game all season, but you're giving me Chicago plus money on a 4-game winning streak when they've beaten tougher teams than Carolina has. I just think Chicago's on the uptrend, and I like Chicago here.
I have to agree with you on that one. I'm on Chicago as well. Chicago's played great the last few games and looking like they're trying to round out into form and then play some good hockey. Maybe we actually make the playoffs.
You think the Blackhawks, that this is sort of that they bottomed out and have kind of, what I, you know, the way that I always talk about it is they kind of like they were here, and then, you know, it happens with a lot of teams that win championships. They have to pay the top guys, so they can't afford to have the depth that they used to have. I mean, you can't afford to have, you know, 6 Hall of Fame defensemen on one team. You know, you just can't. And I don't know if those guys are all Hall of Famers, but let's just say half of them are, right? I mean, I don't know. Is Duncan Keith a Hall of Famer? Maybe, right? You know, well, whatever. I mean, we can debate who's.
But what you say, the Blackhawks, when they did win the championships and were good, they had lots of good players. But yeah, exactly. They don't have. Salary cap gets bloated
when you're
and
young.
Then you can't afford people.
Right. When you're young and you don't have to pay everybody this huge money, but it's after you win, and then they get it. Like, I mean, when Tom Brady was a mid-round draft pick, you know, he didn't make $25 million a year, so you can, you know, he wasn't really an impact on the roster. You know, you see guys like Aaron Rodgers, and you say, oh man, the Packers have no defense. Yeah, because there's a salary cap, and 30% of the money on that roster goes to one player, and you have to divide the rest up now among, you know, 55 other people, and it makes it a little different. And hockey is the same, and of course, you know, hockey, we saw it in the strike. We saw the numbers. You know, we saw the real numbers as to what hockey makes, and it's like there's just not as much money there as there is in some of these other sports. Not that they're giving away hockey tickets. I mean, I'll tell you that much, man. They are not cheap, but for some reason, I think it's the TV money isn't there that is in some of the other sports is the reason why they don't make as much money. But, yeah, so the Blackhawks, it's kind of like they're up, and then they hit the floor, and then you start to see them bounce up. Like, I like Joel Quenneville. I knew him personally. You know, I thought he was a great coach.
Great coach.
He won 3 cups.
Yeah,
you know, they
great
ran
coach.
him. Was it the grass is always greener, or was he just you know, in the wrong place at the wrong time?
I think wrong place at the wrong time. He wasn't doing so good. They were struggling. They had traded some few guys away, and they had some pieces that they were trying to make it work. And he was fighting a losing battle. And then who always wears it? The coach, usually.
Yeah, you can't fire the team, right?
No.
Anyways, I'll give out a pick here. We've changed, for those of you just joining us, we've changed the format of the show. It's no longer a free-for-all style. We're just going to give out picks on the show, and most of these other games, we have videos out there on YouTube that I've done already. Chris and Rod, the Puck Dogs, are here. We got a giant NHL schedule. We're in the progress of an NHL show. We have a few months of the NHL season to work with, but with these guys, we're just trying to figure out a time that works for all of us to do the show every day. You know, some days there's 2 games, it will be a short show. Other days, you know, there's more games, and it will be a longer show. Obviously, on the weekends, the games start a little earlier. On holidays, the weekends, the games start a little earlier. So these are all things that we need to take into consideration when we're putting our Puck Dog show together. So we're just working on it behind the scenes. As far as my picks, I have tons of video picks out there. College basketball, and all of the NBA games. So if you have a pick like this on the Suns, or, you know, like this, you didn't format it correctly, you could just go to the YouTube channel, and there's a video called Kings versus Suns free pick, and you just click on that, and you can get my pick and my opinion on it. And we also have a free pick on the game at pickdogs.com. But anyways, let's get to. I'll give out another. I'll give out a NBA pick while I'm waiting, and then we'll let these guys talk some, and then I'll give out some college hoops as well. I'll go to the game here between the Lakers and the Thunder, and you know, the Lakers favored by 11 points in this thing. The Thunder on back-to-back 2-point losers last night to the Clippers. So it's back-to-back road games, both in the same building. This is like, we're starting to see this a lot in these Staples Centers games where the team plays back-to-back Clippers Lakers, which is a pretty tough combination to go up against. But the Thunder haven't won a game on the road all season long. They're 0-5 on the road, but 3-2 against the number, including covering last night against Kawhi Leonard and the boys who didn't play right in that game. And obviously, kind of like all bets are off when that happens. But Lakers 11-2, 7-1 at home straight up, 6-2 at home against the spread, playing against a team on a back-to-back. Man, I hate laying double digits, but I'm going to do it here. I'll take the Lakers minus the 11, and that's going to be my pick in that one. So we head back to the ice, and got a big NHL card. Chris, you want to dig into the next game?
Yeah, one of my better bets for today also is going to be Dallas in regulation plus 110. I'm also going to put a little bit on Dallas on the puck line at plus 183. I was high on Vancouver a couple weeks ago. They're starting to slide a little bit. Dallas is starting to peak right now. They're starting to get a lot of momentum behind them right now. They won 8 of their last 10 games. Ben Bishop's confirmed to start in net tonight. He's been a big reason why the Stars have started to sort of resurge back into the playoff picture early. But I like Dallas to roll here.
I like Dallas as well. I'll take Dallas on the money line, and I'll sprinkle a little bit on the puck line. I see about a 4-2 game there. We'll move on to another game. I like we're good. Colorado Avalanche at Calgary. For me, this line looks really, really. How can the Avs be the dog here? Calgary's lost 6 games in a row. They're just slumping and struggling and not doing good. I'll take the Avs here. I'll take Avs on the money line, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the puck line.
I'm going to head to college hoops. We got Manhattan taking on Samford. This is we have a Samford team that's laying 5.5 points. They haven't covered the spread all season long. Meanwhile, Manhattan 1-1 against the number, 2-0 straight up. Of course, you look at the level of competition at this point in the college basketball season. You never really know who's gonna play who. But Delaware State, an 11-point win by Manhattan is the game they didn't cover, and then they beat Albany, who's generally a pretty good team. The Great Danes. They were 2-point dogs in that game and beat them outright. Meanwhile, Samford, they've been on the win one, lose one. The big loss was Belmont. And, Belmont's going to beat some teams up. We know that, right? We've seen Belmont against the lesser teams. But the thing is that they lost by 32 points in that game, and now they're 5.5-point favorites here against a Manhattan team that knows how to cover the spread. I'm going to take Manhattan plus the 5.5. I think it's a gift at 5.5. I think this thing should be around 2 points or less, or pick them. So I'm going to take Manhattan. So those of you joining us late, we switched from the free-for-all style because basically it wasn't fun for me anymore. We're going to do free-for-all Fridays, and where you guys ask questions, because basically I do about 30 videos a day. I do all the NBA games. I do all of the college basketball games, and not all the college basketball games, but I do a lot of the college basketball games. I have video picks that are out there on the site. We have free picks on every game every day at pickdogs.com. And basically, it's not fun for me to sit here and talk about the same game 3 or 4 times. Even on the halftime shows, people are asking me about basketball games that we've talked about 2 and 3 times. It's not fun for me. So if it's not fun for me, the show is not good. And then it comes across that I'm a jerk and whatever. And it's like, it's not my intention. The whole idea is that we have fun with it, we win money, I give out picks and all that stuff. But me giving out the same pick 3 or 4 times because someone doesn't want to watch the video that I took time to produce and put up there on YouTube, well, that's not fun for me. So you can go to our YouTube channel, you can check it out. They're all in categories: college basketball, NBA. I don't do hockey, so I have the Puck Dogs here, and they're going to give out tons of free picks, so we don't have to worry about it. But you you just subscribe to the YouTube channel. You don't even need to subscribe. You can just go there and watch the videos. It's Pick Dogs, and you can see I did 9 college basketball games for today. All the big ones. Any game that's a big game, I did it. You know, there's a video there, and you can hear an in-depth opinion by me when I'm enthusiastic to talk about it. You know, which is the best way. You know, it's like you don't want me here saying I talked about that. I did a video on that. I don't enjoy saying it. It's not fun for me. I'd rather be able to just give out picks and do. You know, that's why I started this stuff. The free-for-all format, it gets too chaotic. Also, you know, the free-for-all format, the basis is 1 question per person. We have some people that are just asking 20 questions. It's like, I'm not your personal, you know, free picker. It's like, I don't have time for it. It's like, we have, you know, at my old sites, we had 3 million visitors a month, you know, and it's like, it's not about one person. It's about the other 3 million. I mean, people that can't even format the questions correctly, you know, to do the bare minimum to help us out. But anyways, we do the best that we can do, and I think that this format in the long run is going to be better. I think I just need to prepare a little better for the show, and that's because I was in the studio all morning since 3:30 shooting videos for the NFL and whatever. But anyways, Rod, you want to take us out with another pick here?
Sure, let's go to...
I know you've covered... I know he's got... Rod is prepared. He's got the whole card in front of him. You got a sheet or something?
I do. Yeah, I have.
He's got the entire card.
Notebook, and I went through the entire card.
And Chris has written up free picks on all these games already at Pick Dogs. So he's gone through all of these games like high and low. So these guys are super, super prepared.
We'll go to the Wild at Buffalo tonight. This Wild team has been really dreadful all year. This Buffalo team started off coming out like gangbusters, and they've been slumping a little bit, but nothing like the Wild team coming in to spark things. I think Buffalo can win this game tonight. I'll take Buffalo on the puck line, -1.5, plus 200. I see a 3-1, 4-1 Buffalo win here.
Chris, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, you know, I'm on Buffalo as well. Minnesota on the road is just not something I'm looking to back right now. They're 3-10 on the road this season. Buffalo, like Rod said, they started the season off well, but you can't, like, I mean, they've hit a bumpy patch. I mean, you can't go against Buffalo at home against Minnesota on the road. I like Buffalo -125.
I think Buffalo hit a bumpy patch because they went over to Europe and played the European series. And they had to play a couple of games against Tampa Bay over in Europe, and that drains you. And then they came back, and they have had like a week off, so they played one game and lost a couple. But that'll drain you going over to Europe and coming back in the middle of the season.
Well, I'm on the YouTube page. I was trying to see how many likes we had for the show. But yeah, I'm gonna go to a game here. That this is one. What we see in the early college basketball season is we see a bunch of games like this on the board. Some of them are a lot closer, like these Kentucky games have been, and some of them are just straight blowouts. But the one that I'm looking at here on the board is the Arkansas Pine Bluff against Kansas State. And Kansas State is laying 26.5 points at home in this one. Now you're like, well, maybe they'll take the foot off their gas, and maybe they won't be able to blow them out by this much. Oh no, they play in the Big 12 conference, and I don't know if you guys have followed the Big 12 in recent years. And I know in football maybe they're the outsider that are looking in, one of the outsiders, but in hoops it is stacked. Texas Tech played in the final last year. In case everyone always had a short memory. It's like, who played in the Super Bowl last year, right? The Rams and the Patriots. But who played? It's like everyone usually has short memory. It was Virginia versus Texas Tech was the NCAA final last year. Auburn was in the Final Four, right? I mean, this is it's hard to even remember this stuff, but that's why I'm here. But the Big 12 is always represented. I mean, they always are. And Kansas State is they're not really the shrinking violet of the Big 12. They're actually a really good team, and they have been for a really, really long time. and Arkansas Pine Bluff. This is kind of like, every sport has a team like this that kind of plays it's like they play against the big boys and they just get slaughtered, though. Presbyterian has been in this role before. We see it in just about every level, but let's just take a look at the Arkansas Pine Bluff Gonzaga matchup, where it was 110-60 that the Zags laid it on them just a couple weeks ago. Then you think, well, that's Gonzaga, right? Well, they played South Florida, 70-41. Just an absolute shellacking. Now they go to Manhattan, and not the good Manhattan either. Well, I mean, no offense there. It's the Little Apple, right? It's still a good one. I didn't mean not the good one. I meant the Little Apple, not the Big Apple. But they're in deep doo-doo here. The Arkansas Pine Bluff. They're used to losing. This is a team that has quit on the court. They've been getting gigantic numbers all season long, but they're 1-2 against the number against a Kansas State team that's 3-0 against the number on the season. I know Kansas State is only averaging 66.7 points a game, but that can change in a hurry when you're playing Arkansas Pine Bluff, because this team allows, get this, 82.3 points per game. Kansas State allows 54 points a game. That gives us a lot of room to work with on this game. This is a blowout of blowouts. This is a 100-50 type game. Kansas State all day. Chris, what are you thinking?
I'm actually going to go to my dog of the day, which would be Winnipeg plus 166. Nashville, they paid off earlier in the season. It's still scoring a lot of goals. The problem is you're going to give me this kind of plus money to fade a team that's lost 4 in a row, even at home. Lost 4 in a row, giving up at least 5 goals in 3 of those 4 games and being outscored 23-10. Winnipeg 7-3 on the road this season. The underdogs won 6 of the last 7 meetings straight up. I'm going to take Winnipeg plus 166, and I'm also going to play the reverse puck line. Take a shot with Winnipeg minus 1.5 at plus 425.
I'm totally with you on that one. Let's go Jets.
Plus 465.
Yeah.
That's something I can sink my teeth into. I'll put a couple bucks on that thing with you guys. Rod, you got anything else?
Yeah, I'll say you can see behind me the Leafs banner. What's the worst NHL team to bet on this year? These guys behind me. They're ranked 31st. They'll lose you your shirt so far this year. So we'll go. They're playing in Vegas tonight. And that being said, I'd love to see the Leafs go in there and win. I just don't think they can do it. They have got some issues. There are some issues that we don't see, that we're not seeing there. Why can't these players play good hockey? Something's wrong there. Maybe they need a good night out in Vegas and get wrecked and smashed, and maybe that'll bring them back to thinking. No, probably not, because you have probably not good. But I'll take Vegas on the puck line. The Leafs are just looking woeful this year. I think by Christmas, someone's going to get fired.
So you like them on the puck line as well?
I like Vegas on the puck line. Yeah, I see them winning this game probably 5-3.
Yeah, and to play off of that, I like the over here. Both teams can score. There's been issues with the goaltending for Toronto. They throw as good as Frederick Anderson is. He always seems to let in 3 or 4 goals against the better teams in the league. Vegas, they're prone to giving up a couple at home. These two teams just play high-scoring games, even though they just played a 2-1 game that I went to a couple weeks ago. I think this game reaches 7 or 8 goals, so I'm with Rod. I like a 5-3 kind of game here. Though they just played a 2-1 game that I.
Oh, I lost the sound. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, there we go. All right. So if you guys can hit the thumbs up that are watching, greatly appreciate it. I see 60 people watching. I see 24 thumbs up. So if you guys can hit that, greatly appreciate it. Shouldn't take you any time at all. Shouldn't cost you a thing. If you're watching on a mobile device, what you have to do is you have to shrink the comments and then hit the thumbs up. So those of you that joined us a little late, we changed the format. We've gone away from the free-for-all style. And the reason why we did it, I do a ton of video picks every day. We have free picks on every game every day at pickdogs.com. And I also have premium picks. I don't want to sit here and say, that's a premium pick. I don't want to have to, because I don't want people to think that this show, the whole premise of this show is for me to push the premium area. It isn't, it will never be. I don't want people to sit here and say, oh, I did a video on that game. You guys can look at our YouTube channel. Everything is categorized by sport. You can see exactly what games I did a video on. And I've placed each video in the list. I do every NBA game, and I pick out the major college basketball games of interest or ones that I find that are super interesting. And those are the ones that I do videos on. Usually about 15 plus videos a day. So you can get those all over on YouTube, and of course at pickdogs.com we have free picks. I just think that, this is a little choppy for me today. These guys are way more prepared than I am for this show, and I just need to do a little bit more preparation before the show, and I think it's going to be fine. This is the way that we always have done the show in the past, and then on Fridays we do free for all Fridays, and I know that Friday's generally a lighter hockey day, but we could even have these guys back, and we're going to be doing a separate Puck Dog show. We're just figuring out the timing on it, because like how my regular live show now is 10 a.m. on weekdays, 11 on weekends. We might have to do something similar with Puck Dogs because of weekend timing with games. But anyways, if you're watching the show, once again, if you could hit the thumbs up, it's greatly appreciated. We're going to wrap it up. Chris, you want to take us with, is that your best bet of the day, Winnipeg, or is that just your dog?
That's my dog of the day. My best bet's going to be Boston.
And how about you, Rod?
My best bet of the day would be Dallas.
Stars.
And the dog of the day, I think we're going to go with the Oilers here. They just played the Sharks.
We have a lot of questions here about the Oilers.
Okay, I'll go over this game. We went over the last time the Oilers played the Sharks. They had Smith in net, and I really don't like Smith. He's so-so, but I think that trade there between Calgary and Edmonton for Smith and Calgary's goalie, we just swapped one bad goalie for another bad goalie. So, but the Oilers are going to start their number one goalie in net tonight, and I think they got a little revenge spot here. And with the number 1 and 2 scorers in the league, why wouldn't you take a shot with the Oilers here on the money line?
I think that's a pretty solid play. For me, I'll go to one of the games that I did a video on and give out a pick on that and kind of go over one of those again. Let's see. Well, Virginia versus Vermont. All the money here on this one is going against our Catamounts, but the Catamounts, once again, we know what they can do, that they can throw them in. I really believe that this is one of those games that Virginia wins, but I think they're going to struggle. I think they're going to have some problems in this game. And I think that's one of those games at the end of the game, Tony Bennett's he looks relieved that Virginia's able to pull out the win. I think Virginia is bigger, more talented, all of those things, but just has never stopped Vermont in the past. Vermont's a solid team, an NCAA tournament team, and likely to return again this season. I just think that I can't get away from the Catamounts, and I'll give that one out as a free pick, even though I already did it in a video, so save you guys some time from having to watch that one. But I have tons of college basketball videos out there. Well, you're not understanding the love for Virginia is this right here. Well, let's just say they won the national championship last year. They were a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament the year before that, lost in the first round of the tournament to UMBC, but still they had lost Hunter for that game when that happened. Let's see, when you're the number 1 team, it's not like in pro sports where where all of a sudden that kind of works against you, that everybody wants a higher salary. When you're the number 1 team in college, everybody wants to go there. So you get your kind of pick of the litter of the guys that you want to be on your team, and it kind of all just builds from that. Now, Tony Bennett has a very specific style that he plays, and it's called defense, 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 defense. So a smaller team like Vermont going in and playing against Virginia, there's a chance they don't score 20 points in this game. I personally think that they're going to be able to hit those outside shots. The way to beat Virginia, we saw it, in tournament 2 years ago, is you hit those outside shots. Those low percentage shots have to drop. That is how you beat them. But I'm not saying Vermont has enough in the tank to do that, but I think they have enough to do it long enough where Virginia will need to pull it out in the end. And that's just where not. But it's hard not to have it's hard not to know it. Yeah, we've abandoned the free-for-all style, but we do have a free pick in the Maryland versus Fairfield game at pickdogs.com. So, well, we're not doing the free-for-all style anymore. So that I could answer a few questions, but I don't want to go over the same games I already did in the video. We could answer a few questions here and there, but it's like realistically,
we've done all but.
I'm kind of over the free for all. We could do it. We're going to do free for all Fridays. I'm just kind of over it. So it's like it was not fun for me anymore, and that's why I stopped doing it. So, anyways, recapping, Chris took the Bruins, Montreal, and the Bruins are his best bet. He took Montreal. Rod's on the other side of that with Columbus, though. They both like the Blackhawks. They both like Dallas. Chris really likes them, plus 110 and the puck line. In regulation is the plus 110 in the puck line. They both like Buffalo. Rod's also likes Colorado in there. And then Chris had a real interesting bet. Winnipeg, plus 166, and the reverse puck line at plus 465. Rod took Buffalo. Vegas on the puck line against a struggling Maple Leafs team, which is an over-bet team. And I don't know much about hockey, but just hearing Rod talk there, that this is kind of the, what I call the, where you have the team like Kansas in college basketball, where it's like, or Kentucky, and people just feel compelled that they have to bet on this team every time. And, in hockey, you have to actually win games, so that doesn't happen for them. If you bet on a team and they don't win games, it's usually a bad combination. Dallas Stars, Rod took, and then he loves the Oilers as his play of the day. I took Eastern Michigan in the college football game. I just think they cover in this one. I don't know about winning outright, but I think they cover. I think it's more of a field goal game. I took the Los Angeles Lakers. I took the Manhattan Jaspers. I love Kansas State against Arkansas Pine Bluff. That's probably of my free picks the best. And then Vermont, just because I always give out Vermont on every show. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully, we'll iron out this new format. It's going to only get better. We'll have the Puck Dogs back again at least on Thursday, if not sooner. And like I said, we'll probably be doing a show with just them. I have tons of free pick videos over on YouTube, so be sure to check those out. Of course, we got the Facebook group where we're talking about games. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Rod, thanks for joining us. Oh.
Thank you for having me.
Chris, and a brand new car. Hey, true story. I'll close it out. True story. I was on Price is Right. I spun the wheel. First spin, it hits the dollar and clicks to the nickel. And I was the first one to spin. They said, "What would you like to do?" What do you think I did? I asked the audience, right? I mean, I have a nickel, right? I thought, what should I do? I asked the audience, spin. I had 15 cents. I had 15 cents as the one above. The nickel is below. I had 15 cents. I spin the wheel, 85. I come back, I get the bonus spin. I hit the dollar again, and it did the exact same thing. It just barely clicked over, so I got the second bonus. But it was fun. I was high-fiving the models, doing the whole thing. Anyways, this is Mitch. Thanks for joining me, guys. I don't know what that story has to do with anything. Tons of free picks, tons of videos, and today is my one day that I don't do a nighttime show. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Same bat time, same bat channel.